Hey guys, I'm gonna be real here with you. I've got another video out right now before the 4th of July. I didn't think I would do another one until after the 4th. But why not? This is on my heart, so why not? I'm still feeling kind of raw here. I got up in front of the church, new church I've gone to, and I shared my testimony about the abortion that was forced on me, and I shared pretty deeply. The other church I had gone to, I just shared how I was standing for life, and it was really healthy to, like I said on a video here, to share with other Christians and let them cry with you, let them grieve with you. But this time I went really deep. I had about 6 pages I wrote down because I get nervous when I talk in front of people. Like not now, but like when I know everybody's watching me at once, I can get nervous, or just that it's a hard subject to talk about. So I wanted to stay focused, and I put it on paper, and it was kind of tough. I'm a little drained from it. It was a little tough because I went into the details of it. I went into the details of how, my dad was raised on a farm, my mom was raised in the projects, and how she was in an orphanage, and how she was, my grandmother was a raging, grandmother I loved was a raging alcoholic. And when she was drunk, she would take the hangers to my mother, and then my mother was expected to take care of her brothers and sisters with like no food in the house, and it was just really a hard life she had. And I talked about that mentality, and this is what I'm going to talk about right now. That mentality of the thinking is what gets women into abortion. They don't have the emotional strength to overcome their situation. So, obviously coming from a place where she thought kids were brats and stuff, she didn't want her daughter to have that happen to her, to have kids at a young age, because she knew like when she was young and my grandmother was young, how hard that could be sometimes. But that choice was taken away, and my baby died, and I will see my baby up in heaven. But I did make something of myself. I became a mother of 5 sons. A lot of times you hear families say, "Why don't you make something out of yourself?" And I did. So I talked about in the church about just how that background was a setup for what had happened to me, and how the adults made the decisions in my life, and I really didn't have a choice, and how I now speak for the unborn. And as I built my own family and changed all the family dynamics by staying home and not taking a job as a hairdresser, and I had gone to college for court reporting too. Motherhood is the plan God had in mind for me. You can be taught that you shouldn't be a mother. You can be taught you should be a feminist, you should get out there, you should have a career, you should have money. And when you put that down and you use food pantries and WIC and stuff to help you, it doesn't mean that you're not responsible. It just means that you're being wise, and you're saying, why would I use the budget to take, we need something came up, we need clothes, extra clothes or whatever. Why would you not take the extra stuff that you qualify for and put it into savings, into the budget? So I talk about how I took all this kind of help, and it is out there for women. You do qualify for it. It is a program that the government has given to people, and if you don't use it, it will dry up. And then I talked about how God had healed me through a post-abortive class, and then how I testified in the state house against abortion, and then I also was on the sidewalks. I was in front of Planned Parenthood, and I just got here, and I've done a pro-life walk, and I will be working with a pregnancy organization to help women heal. And I am using my social media as I learn even more about it to reach women to help them heal. After I shared my testimony, I did have a couple women come up to me. One of them thanked me for sharing in the church. She said that she had had a forced abortion, and we don't get to talk about this, is what I told her. Like the last 4 years we started talking about this, but other than that, it's been swept under the rug. And then another lady older than me told me that her mother had to live with this all her life, and it wasn't until she came to know Christ that she would have peace with it. And she obviously is dead now, but this is the kind of stuff women have to live with all their life. So we want to help women heal. And I still feel a little raw from sharing. My whole body was shaking. I just remember the deep part I shared was when not only was I forced into that, but years later, when I had my firstborn, he was kicking. And I was trying to figure out, wait a minute, I'm not showing right now, so why is he kicking? Why I don't look like I'm gonna have a baby. So he when he was kicking, I was like, wait a minute, wait, what happened? Does that mean what happened in like 87? Was that a baby? And I was struggling with it, and I had just gone to a pregnancy center. They said God forgives as far as the east to the west, and I had gotten a free car seat and some clothes, and I just could not believe that like the truth was really hitting me. And I was like, I was trying to justify it, and then I couldn't justify it. The truth was hitting me hard, and I took all the blame at the time, and I asked God, I cried out for mercy. I actually was literally crying and asked God to forgive me for that. Later, I did put the blame where it belonged, and he did forgive me. I just had to have my pride broken and realize if God says he has forgiven you, then you are forgiven. So shortly after that, like right after that, a couple weeks after, I had wanted to kill myself, and I couldn't because I was pregnant with this guilt and shame, this huge load on my back, huge. I was invited to church. Second time I went, I heard the gospel, my eyes were open, I understood, my heart changed. Whereas before, when I was little, like I met Jesus, I was in love with him when I met him, the man who could walk on water, but that's all it was. And so I actually got saved because of my baby. So children change your life, and then I was transformed later on with healing. I had some men in my life who committed to continue loving me with a Christ-like love in the church, and that transformed me too. So just God is calling me again. He called me to build my home and to change the family dynamics, and now he has called me again to help other women build their home.